Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining me for this SMIE Consulting Midweek Roundup, live from the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I'm here for the next 3 days for intensive meetings with our Global Education Initiatives team and all other folks on campus who are supporting what we're doing and trying to do internationally at the university. Today's focus really is a quick one on some of the important elements about international student enrollment management at a university. These days, we've gone beyond just bringing in new students from overseas in terms of our mission, in terms of our focus as an institution, and really ultimately in our purpose as an international division of a university. Really, it becomes a matter of, are we supporting the students we're enrolling? And providing for their services throughout their life cycle with us, not just in that prospect to enrolled student stage, but all the way through to successful international alumni of our institution. And that's really when we set out on this journey almost 3 years ago, when I first came to UNLV as a consultant, as they had a new president start during the pandemic, wanted to build an international operations here at UNLV, to add to the already excellent reputation of the institution as one of the top 2 or 3 most diverse campuses in the United States, to take that internationally as well. But he understood, the new president at that time, that it was going to be a long-term project. And the fact that his experience at the previous institution led him to understand the difficulties that were involved in building something from scratch. Ultimately, here at UNLV, we had a substantial number of international students pre-COVID, had over 1,000, and we were doing well. Chinese students were our number one source, as they were for most public universities in the United States, but those quickly dried up, obviously, during the pandemic and have yet to recover. They're still in our top 2 most populous students on campus, but the need to diversify, the need to bring a better range of students from around the globe to our campus was really a priority. But we knew we couldn't do that to a large extent. We've recovered from pre-COVID or COVID lows where we dropped to 700 students. We're back over 1,000 now. So we're doing well on that front. But what we really are focusing on in these early years of this project is, as we slowly grow our enrollments from overseas, is to take a look at that whole life cycle process, making sure we're delivering to current students those services that we provide. And for me, that is the bottom line in terms of where we're coming from and how we're building things here at UNLV. We created the Global Education Initiatives team 2 years ago, and just coming up 2 years today, actually, I think. Where we have an International Student Scholar Services Office that oversees our English Language Center. We have an International Programs Office that coordinates study abroad. And then we have me in Global Recruitment and Partnerships. We're building onto that team. I don't have direct involvement in the day-to-day on the application side for international students. We have separate counselors in grad and undergrad admissions that oversee those particular pieces of the puzzle. But we have slowly building a coalition on campus to really support what we're doing. For those of you who watched last week's episode, I was in Thailand with our Associate Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education and High Impact Practices, Jake Thompson, doing partnership work with universities in Thailand, and I've identified at least 4, probably up to 9 partners in Thailand that we could potentially be working with on different projects. So that's a sign of growth, and including others in the process of international student enrollment management in terms of what that involves. One of the other features that I wanted to share with you today, and sorry, I'm on the move to meetings in another building, is a facility that I'm in front of right now. It's called the U, or University Gateway. And it was built about 5-6 years ago, and it's really become a hub. It's where our graduate college has their offices, our School of Public Health has their offices, but it is also one of those ubiquitous kind of buildings that you see on university campuses, where you have housing on the top 3 or 4 floors, and on the ground level, a series of shops and restaurants and other things that students need. So it's one of those residential living communities, eating, living, drinking communities here, with work offices as well. But one of the things that really I see a differentiator for U.S. colleges and universities when it comes to international education, and how we have not only greater capacity than anywhere else in the world amongst major destination countries to absorb larger numbers of international students, we also have housing available, regular housing available for international students that most foreign destination countries do not. We've seen the crises that have occurred in Australia, Canada, UK, where the significant lack of housing availability for international students has led to serious cutbacks, concerns about net migration issues and other things. That has led to government changes in 3 countries that are having serious negative impacts on current and future international student enrollments because they don't have the housing capacity. Even those that did have it, in Australia, for example, during the pandemic, some universities were forced to sell off some of their properties because they wanted to avoid staff cuts. And that's as a result of that, we now have an opportunity in the United States to take advantage of the different challenges that other countries are facing, particularly related to housing. So if you are a smart international student recruitment or admissions expert, you should be talking about housing that you have available to your future students and what that looks like, and the ease and accessibility of that housing to attract a wider range of students that might be considering and are likely considering other destination countries. So when we do this and take this into consideration for how we build our international student enrollment management plans, we're certainly taking a wiser approach and a targeted approach, and one that shows perspective on the global world that we live in. So that's all we have for you this time on the Midweek Roundup. I wish you the best of luck. I will be back in the home office next week for a short stretch before we head out to New Orleans for NAFSA. Looking forward to catching up with everybody there. And until we meet next time, have a great rest of your day. Cheers.